Here's a fun fact. Being a U.S. Senator might be the greatest investment opportunity in America. Sure, they call it public service, but with the stock trades some of these politicians make, it's no wonder they never want to retire. From pandemic profits to defense contractor jackpots, these senators have figured out how to turn their government paychecks into financial empires. Let's dive into the most jaw-dropping stock trades and see just how much richer they've gotten while serving the public. Segment 1. The Pandemic Profiteers. For most of us, March 2020 was about hoarding toilet paper and trying not to cry during Zoom meetings. But for some senators, it was a time to make millions. Let's start with Senator Richard Burr. Before COVID-19 tanked the market, he attended closed-door briefings that warned of the pandemic's catastrophic potential. Days later, he sold off between $628,000 and $1.7 million in stocks. That's some lucky timing. Burr's net worth was estimated at around $3 million when he entered Congress in 1995. By the time he retired, it was a cozy $7.6 million. Not bad for someone making a public servant's salary, right? And then there's Senator Kelly Loeffler. Along with her husband, who just happens to chair the New York Stock Exchange, Loeffler dumped millions in stocks before the market nosedived. Conveniently, she also picked up shares in companies like Zoom and medical suppliers. Because, of course, she had such deep insight into the teleworking market. Before she entered politics, Loeffler and her husband were worth $800 million. When she left, they were creeping toward the billion-dollar club. But sure, she was just doing this for the people of Georgia. Of course, when the FBI started poking around, they both claimed their trades were handled by advisors. You know, those magical beings who can predict a pandemic better than the CDC. Segment 2. Defense contractor deals. It turns out voting on military budgets can be great for your stock portfolio. If you're the one making the budgets, take Senator James Inhofe. As chair of the Senate Armed Services Committee, he traded stocks in defense giants like Raytheon and Boeing while pushing policies that made those companies richer. Inhofe entered Congress in 1987 with a net worth under $500,000. By the time he retired in 2023, his fortune was estimated at $12 million. Not bad for a guy who once said climate change was a hoax while holding a snowball in the Senate chamber. Then there's Senator Dianne Feinstein. Her husband, Richard Bloom, invested heavily in defense contractors benefiting from policies Feinstein helped shape. Feinstein's net worth was around $26 million when she joined the Senate in 1992. By the time of her passing in 2023, her estate was estimated at a staggering $96 million. With financial growth like that, it's no wonder some of these public servants cling to their seats like their yachts depend on it. Spoiler, they probably do. Segment 3. The shady side of tech. Big tech gets a lot of heat from politicians, but some of those critics have a suspiciously cozy relationship with tech stocks. Let's talk about Senator Josh Hawley. While railing against big tech for their monopolistic practices, it was revealed that his wife held investments in funds containing shares of Amazon, Google, and Facebook. Hawley entered politics with an estimated net worth under $200,000. After just a few years in the Senate, he's sitting pretty with a portfolio valued over $1 million. Public service really pays, doesn't it? And who can forget the Pelosi power couple? Paul Pelosi, husband of former Speaker Nancy Pelosi, has been accused of using insider knowledge to make trades so good they make Warren Buffett jealous. The most infamous was his $5 million Nvidia stock purchase just before Congress voted on semiconductor subsidies. Nancy Pelosi's net worth was under $10 million when she entered Congress in 1987. Now, the power duo is worth over $120 million. And then there's the infamous hammer attack on Paul Pelosi in 2022. While the motive was officially personal, conspiracy theorists had a field day. Because when you're that rich, even your scandals come with a plot twist. Here's the thing. Stock trading by U.S. senators is technically legal. But let's be honest. When you're sitting in closed-door briefings and making stock moves that would make hedge fund managers jealous, it's a little hard to believe it's all above board. The Stock Act of 2012 was supposed to keep them honest, but with loopholes big enough to fit a super yacht, it's clearly not doing the job. And let's not forget the real kicker. These folks love to call it public service, but the only thing they're serving is their bank accounts. Turns out being a parasite on society pays really well when you're the one writing the rules. No wonder they never want to retire. Why leave the ultimate money-making gig when you can just keep cashing in on the system? What do you think? Should senators and their families be banned from trading stocks? Or maybe it's time for term limits to cut off the gravy train and give the next generation a shot at leading? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and check out our next story on the world's biggest financial scandals. It's a deep dive into corruption you won't want to miss. It's almost as if public service comes with its own set of insider trading privileges. The revolving door of lobbyists and lawmakers, featuring Mitch McConnell. Sometimes the scandals don't involve senators directly. It's about the cozy relationship between lawmakers and lobbyists. And no one embodies this better than Mitch McConnell. McConnell has been in office so long, his career could be its own documentary. Funded heavily by defense contractors, pharmaceutical companies, and big tech, McConnell's financial disclosures show trades tied directly to the industries he legislates. Over the years, his personal net worth has skyrocketed to over $30 million. Coincidence? Probably not. But here's where it gets funny, or sad, depending on your perspective. McConnell is often compared to a turtle, and honestly, it fits. With his slow, deliberate speech and knack for retreating from accountability, the resemblance is uncanny. And much like a turtle on his favorite rock, Mitch seems frozen in place, unwilling to step aside and let the next generation live. Social media isn't letting him off the hook. One viral meme shows McConnell photoshopped onto a turtle shell with the caption, "Slow and steady wins the Senate seat for 40 years. Another tweet put it bluntly. Mitch McConnell promised to retire years ago, but he's still here, proving that turtles really can outlive everyone. Mitch, maybe it's time to shuffle off that rock before it's too late. The crypto conspirators. Politicians love to warn us about the dangers of cryptocurrency, unless of course they're the ones profiting from it. Enter Senator Cynthia Lummis, one of Capitol Hill's loudest advocates for Bitcoin. On paper, she's all about financial transparency. But a closer look reveals that Lummis has personally invested over $250,000 in cryptocurrency, while simultaneously shaping legislation that could benefit the crypto market. And then there's Senator Ted Cruz, who made headlines after purchasing Bitcoin during a market dip, right before pushing for policies to expand crypto mining in Texas. His timing was almost too perfect, leading critics to question whether he's just lucky or something else. Funny how the people telling us crypto is risky seem to have no problem gambling with it themselves, especially when they get to write the rules. The Stock Act, a toothless tiger. The Stock Act was supposed to stop these scandals, so why does it feel like a joke? Passed in 2012, the Stock Act requires lawmakers to disclose stock trades within 45 days. Sounds good, right? Except for one problem. There are no real penalties for breaking the rules. For example, over 70 members of Congress violated the Stock Act in 2021 alone, according to a Business Insider report. Their excuse? Oops, I forgot. That's right, our lawmakers can violate ethics laws with a simple shrug, while the rest of us would face fines or prison for insider trading. It's almost like the people who wrote the rules made sure they wouldn't apply to themselves. Shocking, I know. Here's the harsh truth. Many US senators have turned public service into personal profit, exploiting insider knowledge and legislative power to enrich themselves. Whether it's pandemic profiteering, defense contractor kickbacks, or crypto windfalls, the scandals keep piling up. The question is, what are we going to do about it? Should we ban stock trading by lawmakers altogether, or is it time to push for stricter financial transparency laws? One thing is clear, if we don't hold them accountable, the gravy train will keep rolling. What do you think? Should senators and their families be banned from trading stocks, or is there another solution? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into financial scandals, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our next video on Wall Street's biggest schemes. Trust us, you won't want to miss it.